I always love when, it's always a mystery if I'm live because we are live and I'm welcoming Tonya Acha to my live Facebook. But, I laugh every time I do this because there's always like this little technical wonderment. And I say this is the wonderment of the world of Zoom and Facebook Live and COVID-19. So, and I'm sure you experience all of this. Tonya, am I saying
Tonya,
this?
yeah. Yep.
Tonya, it's such a beautiful name. Is a referral marketing expert and coach. I'm so excited really to talk to you today because I would venture to guess that your business has really taken a very different sort of trajectory in the last 4 months.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I actually do want to go back. I sometimes like to go back and get a history of who you are so people know who you are, and talk about sort of life before COVID, because there was life before COVID for all of us. There will be life after.
Yeah.
But tell me a little bit about you and your, what your role is and what it looked like before, because it's changed.
It has definitely changed. Yeah, so I am a business coach specializing in networking and referral relationships. So helping people navigate through where to network, how to build their relationships, what kind of events and activities to go to. So for me, prior to COVID, I would do a lot of speaking engagements at chambers or other networking organizations, helping people understand some of the do's and don'ts of networking, and then really how to build their team of people to pass them referrals. So I went to a lot of in-person events, helping people, whether a side-by-side with clients, helping them through those events, or as I mentioned, doing speaking events. And obviously since mid-March, that has changed because we can't do in-person events right now.
No, and so everything looks like a Brady Bunch.
Exactly.
I've said we've all gone back. I don't like to date anybody, but I don't mind dating myself and one of my favorite TV shows, and said I didn't know all of a sudden I was going to become Marsha and Jan Brady and my whole life was going to be in a box,
Yeah. I had somebody actually ask me in January, do you ever see yourself doing coaching via Zoom or Skype or something like that? And I'm like, no, everything I do is in person. I like that human connection.
Right.
And then of course March hit and it's like, all right, I guess I'm doing via Zoom.
So it's so true. And it's funny because the people I talk to, I have clients and people like you, here we are, we're using our hands, and, we talk about how far back we want to be or how how far forward. And I sit at this desk all day long talking to people. And I will say though, at first, I mean, I've used Zoom for a long time, whether it's Zoom meetings, now there's a comfort level. We've all gotten a little more comfortable, even those non-techies, but there is still nothing like what you do where you're out really, seeing people. And the truth of the matter is that how do you build from before to now those same types of relationships, because they are so important in networking and building businesses.
Yeah, and that's a good question. And many people, the relationship building happened when they saw them out. So whether they saw them at an event or they saw them at the grocery store or they saw them when they were out to dinner. So whether it was something that was planned or by chance, those relationships really happen by more of the casual connections. So now that we aren't out as much and we don't have as many events to go to, whether it's golf outings or things of that nature, we need to be a little more strategic in maintaining those relationships. We still need to create that visibility with the people in our network so that we're top of mind. Because if you're a real estate agent, and you haven't talked to somebody for the last 5 months, they may not remember that you're a real estate agent. You might not pop in their head. If somebody's looking for a real estate agent, they may remember the person that they talked to 2 days ago. So there really needs to be a little more strategy into who are your top referral sources, who really has access to, the target market that you want, and then how are you staying in front of them? Is it a how are you phone call? How are you doing today? Just checking in, not selling them anything, but just deepening the relationship. Is it connecting with them on social media? Is it sharing one of their posts? So there's a lot of things that you can do to still, what I call motivate the relationship, so they still want to refer you. They still want to make sure that you're their person. You're their resource when those referrals happen, or referral opportunities can happen.
Don't you feel, you say that, and don't you feel we're working even harder?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel, because of what you just said, and I believe so strongly, my business in PR is all about relationship building. It's all about seeing my clients, partnering my clients with other people, meeting new potential clients,
Mm-hmm.
and events. And when you can't do it the old-fashioned way,
Yeah.
which was 4 months ago, I find like we are having, well, I mean, if you're really working hard, you're doing it in new and different ways, or you're thinking about new and different ways. It isn't even just hopping on a Zoom call, because even that's become sort of easy. It's thinking about, how do we reach out to our customers, my retail clients? How do we, my clients who are in retail, how do they get their customers back in the store, or those who aren't comfortable to come back in? Or, how do they change their business models to network, differently?
Yeah, for retail, how do they get that impulse shopper? Because now most of us are using like ClickList or something like that, where we're picking from a list. We don't have we're not walking the aisles to see what's on the end caps. We're not seeing what's on the mannequins. We're going for something specific, and we're walking out with that specific thing, not the extra. So yeah, I'm sure their business has significantly changed because of that.
And I like to say right now, because I like to be positive, it has changed, and you can go down the path of it's changed, and it's not great, but how can it change so you survive and you succeed? And so I'm sure that you are working on a lot of those, those concepts. You have such a beautiful smile, so I can see that you're in that mindset as well.
Yeah, and I love it because it has, I don't know, forced is maybe a harsh word, but it's forced many of us to really dig into working on our business instead of just going with the flow and doing what we did last year and doing this because it worked. It's made us really take a look at, did that really work?
Yes.
And what can we do differently? And maybe I wasn't using technology as effectively as I could. Maybe I do need a different target market. So it's been challenging, and for me, that's the rewarding part of what I do. I like, thinking of new things, and getting stuck in a rut is something that has always driven me crazy. So helping people to really, it's almost like you throw it all on the table, and you have to reorganize it and resort and determine what's the new path that you take. And some stuff is going away. There's going to be some things that we probably won't go back to doing. And there are so many other things that we can do to still maintain our businesses and still be extremely successful. And I've seen several of my clients be even more successful because they can be more productive, because they're not spending as much time driving, and they're not doing the casual stuff that really wasn't working for them. So I love the intentionality of what we're doing.
I love that. I can't agree more. Tell me a little bit about who some of your clients are, like who comes to you.
Yeah, so a lot of my clients are, professionals who know and understand the value of referrals. Traditional marketing may not necessarily work for them, and they really rely on those personal introductions to really build their businesses. Many of them are in what I call more high-risk professions, where, a financial advisor, for example, you're not just going to say, hey, go see my financial advisor. They're great when you're investing a couple $1 million. You want a little bit more information. You need to know that you can trust the person that is being referred. So high risk, high trust professions, financial advisors, insurance agents, attorneys, where that casual conversation just doesn't come up that often. I see on social media, oh, I need a plumber because, I have a drain problem. Yeah, that's a really easy one to refer. I can't tell you I've ever seen anybody post on social media, oh, I'm looking for a financial advisor. So those are the individuals that really need to have the deep relationships with other people that are talking to their target market. So is it the estate planning attorney that's talking to people about their assets? Is it the CPA? So they need to build the relationships with the other professionals that are talking to the people that they want to talk to. And there's definitely a strategy behind that.
So a financial planner seeks you out.
Yep. Yeah.
And then give me a little bit of what's a day-to-day for you? Like how do you work with your clients?
It varies. I do some group coaching. I really enjoy more of the individual coaching because when it comes to relationships, it is more individual. So when I work with clients, a lot of times I'll work with them on who's their target market. So we do some discovery of really, who's their target client, what's their, product or service that they are really passionate about offering. And then once I work with them on that, then my typical rotation or my sessions with them is really then taking a look at, okay, so who are your referral sources? So if you're a financial advisor, your referral source is the estate planning attorney. When you're calling Matt, the estate planning attorney, what does that conversation look like? How are you equipping Matt to bring you up in conversation? So we look at all of their sources and then put a strategy in place. So what's the plan? What's the next time you're talking to them? What's the next event you're going to invite them to? What blogs or articles are you going to provide them so they can share with their clients? So then it's just the strategy of this is what I'm doing this week and I need to talk to this person and I need to make sure I get on that person's calendar and, who am I going to, find on LinkedIn and share their posts so that I can motivate them. So it's, we take a very strategic approach to the relationship building. It's not just, seeing them at a golf outing and shaking a hand and having a cocktail with them. It's, there's gotta be some strategy so that it pays off in the end.
And with your strategies, do you use like the tools you use? Is it events, social media? I mean, collateral marketing? Is it sort of a combination?
Yeah, it's a combination, and it also depends on the individual. So part of my discovery with them is really finding out what they enjoy doing. If they don't enjoy social media, don't do social media. If you enjoy doing golf outings or if you enjoy, going to cigar bars, for me, I love wine tasting. So I host wine tasting events all the time when we can.
I saw on your social media, you're doing a virtual.
I do. I host a virtual wine Wednesday.
I think like how fabulous, how out of the box. I'm sure that would have been an in-person event. And so I love, sorry to interrupt you, but
no, okay.
I love the fact, like, there you go. We've, shift, adapt, make it happen.
Yeah, and do something that you love. So that strategy, for me, that strategy can't be cookie cutter. It really needs to be, what do you love to do? Is it going to get you in front of people that you can make money doing it with? Whether it's a golf outing or going out boating, what is it, that makes you tick? Yeah. Because if you're going to a golf outing, you don't like to golf, you're not going to be comfortable. You're not going to attract people that want to go golfing, because then you're going to have to do more stuff that you don't like. So I really like to help people find what do they enjoy doing, and then what can be the activities that are going to tie into who they are and what they enjoy doing. So like I said, if you don't like doing social media, let's find a different platform for you to get in front of other people. If you don't like to golf, let's find something that you do like to do so that we can get you in front of people. Sometimes it's through, community giving. So is it joining a nonprofit and being on the board or being a volunteer of something that's near and dear to your heart? Because now you're going to surround yourself with other people who have the same passion as you do,
right?
Which is going to make it easier to compel them to want to help you.
What a fabulous role you play.
It's fun.
I mean, you play like this wonderful, almost matchmaker of relationships to build relationships, like-minded people, bringing them together. And I love that. How are your clients doing? And I say that because you and I have similar type of roles. I mean, we sort of play in a similar type of sandbox.
Mhm.
But, and I'll just say, my clients have had the roller coaster days
Yep.
for sure. But how are your clients deal in high wealth? They deal in scary, insurance and financial. It's the world out there is a little scary at times. So how are they doing?
Yeah, overall, most of my clients are doing well because right now, if they're working with me, they do have that solutions focused mindset. So they're doing well because they are strategizing, they are looking at the things that they can do. They are trying to be proactive in moving themselves forward. I believe we all have kind of gotten sucked into, some of those bad days.
Yeah.
Because I also do applied neuroscience in my coaching, so I understand how the brain works. And we can't, there's so much going on right now that our brain doesn't know how to handle. There's no way that we can be perfectly happy and wonderful every single day with all the stuff going on. So I can't say that they're wonderful every day, 24/7. I mean, we've all had our moments, but I feel fortunate because the majority of the people that I'm working with are solutions focused. They're working with me because they do want to move forward. With that being said, I have had some clients that have dropped off, and they've kind of, I say, gone dark. They were out of business because they couldn't have their doors open, and they kind of, I feel like a couple of them just kind of went to bed, pulled the covers up over their head, and are just waiting for this to pass. And it saddens me because, I do see so many other people out there that are finding the ways to make things work and finding the ways to move forward. And we've got huge support systems in our community. So whether it's, financial programs that are out there, or it's just your neighbor who's out there to help. I mean, I've really seen some great bonds with people in our community bonding together to really support one another. And that's been very cool and encouraging to see.
I would agree. And I think that's, I mean, as I said to you offline, one of the reasons I started this was just to be able to talk to people and make sure sort of businesses were doing well and put businesses out there, because we're all going to get through this together, or what's the point? I mean, really, what's the point? And so I do ask how your businesses are doing, because I have this philosophy: you're allowed to have a bad day, you're allowed to have a bad hour, but pull your bootstraps up, keep going. And that's, kind of some days I do tell my clients, like, okay, bad day. I've had plenty myself, but the truth of the matter, and we're going to have more, the sun is out today. I get nervous, like the weather, on a bad weather day, we can't go outside and, we do live in Michigan.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, we don't have the pleasure of sunny California or Florida, but
73 all day.
Yeah, we're going to have those sun lamps when we're locked inside. But, our roles are definitely going to be to bring sunshine to our clients who, as they go through holiday time and different uncertainties. Are you taking new clients right now?
Yes. Yeah,
I would imagine we all are. I would say to you now, who should come to you? I mean, you offer great solutions. Who should be seeking you out? Because this is a time where I really do believe, and I'll say this, that when people say I can't afford these extra services, I kind of smile and say, how do you know that? Because I think you can't afford not to in this. So who should be seeking you out?
Yeah, so best for right now for me would be individuals who were those in-person networkers, the people that were going to the live events and relied on the people that they saw out in their communities to help them in their businesses, pass them referrals, and or to be their clients or prospects. So those individuals that, did network a lot, because many of those events and even nonprofit events or, golf outings, things of that nature, most of those aren't happening.
No.
And a lot of those organizations don't have the platform to help you stay connected to those people. So if you're one of those individuals who did network a lot and did go to a lot of activities and events, it could just take even just some quick conversations to help you sift through what were you doing, what can you still do, maybe even take a look at who are the top people that you used to see at those events, and what are the steps that you can do to stay visible with a handful of people that will still, create valuable referral relationships for you.
I really encourage anyone listening, or when we share this, to take advantage of having a conversation with you, and to go to, and I'm going to spell it out and say it, tonyaacha.com, TonyAacha.com, and I'll put it on a link, .com, because here's what I find, and I've had this conversation with like a client of mine who's a travel agent. People decide to do their own research, and I always think that's great. But the amount of time people spend trying to figure it out themselves sometimes is such wasted time. So, one day I was sitting, and I do research, so I have a handle on what's out there, but there's networking events online, and I think to myself, well, is this any good? Is this women's networking group any good? Is this fundraising group any good? Is this development group any good? And the thing is that, how do you know? You don't know. Yeah, it's just sort of out there on the Facebook world or the web. And unless you know somebody in the group, or you really can do your own research, you are spending a whole lot of time, valuable time, which time is money, wasting your time.
Yep. Yeah, and what's a good group for you might not be a good group for me. And so that's part of the conversation that I have with clients is, what are you looking for? Are you looking for that mastermind or that support system? Then yeah, this might be a great organization for you. If you're looking for a strategic referral, networking environment, then this organization might be good. And there's going to be some times you're going to have to take dip your toe in the water to check it out.
Of course.
But not all networking events are created equal, and they don't all play to what people need or want.
Right.
So it's really hard to say, yes, this is good or that's bad, because everybody needs something different.
So I really encourage people, because to have a conversation with you, and to actually do their research right now, because especially our networking groups look different. And they're going to look different for quite some time now. We aren't, I'm very clear, we aren't going to sit in a room with a big networking group, I guess, unless you're the Dallas Cowboys, which I heard are going to have fans today. But as I said to my husband this morning, we'll see how long that lasts.
Yep.
But the truth of the matter, us smart business women and men are going to network appropriately.
Yeah.
I firmly believe, like you do, that you have to seek out your target audiences and who you want to speak to. And I know that's, really what you're helping your clients with. Is there anything I like to say, is there anything I didn't get a chance to ask you that, we really should be sending that message out? Because I definitely want to make sure I do that with you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the time. If I can give one tip to the listeners is take a look at your contacts, pick up the phone. It's great to do emails and text messages, but there's nothing more valuable than just picking up the phone to say, it's Tuesday, it's Thursday, how are you? I hope you're having a good day. That human connection we are all needing right now, and that will pay big dividends in the future when you do have those opportunities for business development with them. So pick up the phone, say hello, how are you doing?
Tonya, I couldn't agree more. You know what? I think that we all get in the world of, it's easier to email, or I don't feel like talking to them, I'll just do it this way. But I couldn't agree more that at this time, we need to hear people's voices. It's the way we're going to have a human touch right now, I think, because we can't have that human touch. And nothing says I care like a phone call. I think people will remember that. And I do agree with the fact that it's nice to let people know that you're thinking of them, not wanting something from them,
Right.
always.
Right.
So thank you so much for joining me today. I know I look forward to a time where you and I will meet in person.
Sounds good.
But I love the fact that we can meet on Zoom because that is life.
The next best thing.
I will be sharing this. Of course, it's on my business page. I share it on my personal page. TonyaAcha.com, everyone. She is an amazing relationship referral marketing expert. You need to check her out because this is the time where we all need a little bit of help for sure, building those relationships, because our relationships are very different right now, 100%. And if you want to grow your business, we got to look about how we're going to grow it differently. That's for sure.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. Have an amazing day.
Thanks, you too.
All right. Talk to you soon.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.